It's a minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM, Lauren, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am Babafemi Adesoye, and here are the stories that are making waves across the world this morning. President Bola Tinubu's administration has hinted at the possibility of creating new ministries in the country. This is according to the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, who disclosed this on Thursday in Abuja. Tinubu submitted the ministerial list to the National Assembly through Gbajabiamila before it was read by the Senate Godswill Akpabio, noting that the nominees were chosen after undergoing thorough personal screening by the President. Gbajabiamila said that the second part, comprising 13 names, will be sent to the National Assembly. Still in Nigeria, Kwara State House of Assembly has received an executive communication from the state governor, Malam Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, for the confirmation of 20 commissioner nominees. According to a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the governor, Rafiu Ajakaye, Governor Abdul Razak also sought legislative approval for the appointment of 10 special advisors to work with the administration in various capacities. The House will diligently attend to the governor's request in due course, according to a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Shehu Abdul Kadir Yusuf. Now on the foreign scene, coup leaders in Nigeria who said they have overthrown the elected government won broad army support and called for calm on Thursday after young demonstrators ransacked the ruling party headquarters. The latest target of a coup in Africa's turbulent Sahel region, President Mohamed Bazoum has been confined at his residence since Wednesday by his own presidential guard. Bazoum had defiantly stood his ground as condemnation of the coup swelled from African and international organizations, including allies, France, Germany, and the United States. But Armed Forces Chief General Abdul Sidiku Issa on Thursday swung his weight behind the coupists. Diving into the world of sport, Italian giant AC Milan have signed Nigeria's Samuel Chukwueze from Villarreal. The Nigerian forward has signed for the Rossoneri until 30th June 2028. The winger was born in Nigeria on the 22nd of May 1999 and was part of the Diamond Football Academy youth sector before teaming up with Villarreal in 2017. He scored 4 goals with Villarreal's B side in 20 games before debuting from the senior team in September 2018. Chukwueze then went on to play 207 times for the Yellow Submarines and scored 37 goals. The player was part of the club's 2020-2021 Europa League squad. That's all we'll have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of some of the trending stories for this week. Please do stay tuned.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
From news to sports, current affairs to entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs, we got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, so help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the sport spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
All right, it's a very beautiful Friday morning. Welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast Show. Yes, we'll be analyzing some of the major talking points in the news. To do this with me this morning is Dr. Hafiz Toyin Suleiman. He's a university lecturer, a public affairs analyst, and a social commentator. And of course, he's a regular guest on the show. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to our listeners at home.
Yeah, how you doing today?
We thank God, alhamdulillah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, let's get into the very first story. President Bola Tinubu has transmitted his ministerial list to the Senate just in time to meet the constitutional requirement of submitting the list not beyond his first 60 days in office. And then the president submitted 28 names with nominees from 11 states yet to be included. According to the constitution, the president is expected to appoint ministers across all 36 states. So as a result, this list has been tagged the Batch A ministerial list. Oh, is it funny to you?
It is actually.
Okay, anyway, what do you make of the ministerial list, and then did it match your expectations in any way?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having me. If you look at what has just happened, you will notice that if not for the last Senate that pegged the required numbers of days a president needs to submit the list of the ministers
within the first 60 days. Yes.
Which means by now we may still not have the list, if not because of the president that was set. If you remember, during the last president's administration we waited endlessly.
Yeah, for like 6 months or thereabouts.
Thank you. And that must have been the reason why the legislation that requires the list to be submitted within 60 days. Now, before now, one would expect that after the last general election, the president will have enough of time, you understand, to prepare who will be working with him. And we were also expecting, as he used to commonly say, that he's ready to kick the ground running.
Okay,
so waiting this long and having to submit, like you have rightly mentioned, Batch A, means that the preparation or the presidency is not actually as prepared as we want to think, especially in the area of submission of those who become minister. Because I was expecting, you asked of my expectation, so I was expecting a full list, and I was expecting the list a lot earlier than now. Okay. Because of the hardship, whether I don't know if the president or the presidency actually are listening to people the way they used to. You know, the president, when he was the governor, to involve or listen to people at the grassroots. If he's still doing that, he should know by now that his administration is already losing the goodwill
Okay.
that people are according the administration right from the beginning. If you look at when the subsidy was removed, people were still, you understand, optimistic and tried. But right now, without seeing any concrete or solid effort from, particularly from the federal government, people are now probably on defense. And before I just go back to where I'm coming from, I would say something should be done about this, because when we moved and the president loses his goodwill, it will be very, very difficult to get it back. Now, coming back to the list, it shows that the president have not actually finished identifying those he wants to work. I think the problem actually is not that the president don't have enough hands to work with him, but I think the problem is there are some peg in the constitution that requires the president to go round the 36 states, and I think that is the problem. It may be because of probably he's a politician and he may not want to pick somebody that will upset the balance in a particular state. I am just saying, maybe that is the case, or maybe the case is that he's yet to make a choice between 2 or 3 more choices. You understand? So maybe that is the case, but this shows that in Nigeria we know how, you understand, to bypass the constitution. Right now, nobody can fault the president for not submitting the ministerial list of who become minister. What we can actually complain of is that the list is not complete, and the law, maybe the provision did not specify that complete list. So maybe this assembly has the duty of probably amending or look into it, that it should be changed from just submission to what? Complete submission. You understand? So that is that. But let's now talk about the quality of those who are on the list. Well, because I'm an educationalist, I am not too satisfied. And I'm afraid that you understand, we may have what we had in the last administration. Towards the end of the last administration, a whole minister of education for many years, precisely around almost 8 years, admitted that until he became the minister, he knew little or nothing about the educational sector. You can see what is happening now. Now, from the list, I may not be completely right, but from the day it was released, and I have carried out my due diligence to check the list, because the first thing I look for is who will be in charge of that sector. You understand? That is the bedrock. I think the problem is we don't realize that education is the most important thing. Maybe that's why we are not getting it right in this country. Look at countries like Finland and other countries that have actually prioritized education. They are doing well. And you may want to ask me, are we still not having doctors, lawyers? But I will tell you that what we are having mostly now, we are having a lot of uneducated everything. Uneducated lawyer, uneducated doctor, even uneducated teachers, because we have not paid attention to our education. And what do I mean by that? Yes, they may be knowledgeable. They may be good, but they are not educated. And just like people make this mistake on the street, education is not about the numbers of degrees that you are bagged. No. By the time we are seeing a lawyer that is robbing, the person is not educated. We are seeing a doctor that is removing woman part for sacrifice. He is not educated. He is just good, but he's not educated. Or we are seeing a politician that is diverting the money that is meant for the public use to his personal pocket. It shows that that person is not educated. In fact, when somebody is found guilty of something like this, the first thing should do that the university or the schools should withdraw that certificate, because those certificates were awarded based on 2 things, and it means that one is lacking. The first one is what? Character, which is very important. Then the other part is what? Knowledge. But we have over concentrate on the knowledge, and even the knowledge part is even nothing to write home about. So it shows that we have to go back to education. That is one side. Now, I don't know if maybe I have not read enough, but I've seen a lot of people. I've seen in the list lawyers, I've seen architects, accountants, economists, but I am yet to know which of them. Maybe our listeners who are more versatile than we are, or we may want to probably guide me or inform me who among them is rooted. I'm not talking about just having or working in one education sector. Who is actually rooted in education, who is a teacher and know the plies of teacher on the street, and it's happening everywhere. When they want people to continue to work, they will say teachers are essentials worker, but when it comes to rolling out benefits, you find out that teachers are not there. In fact, nobody practically wants to become a teacher anymore. So that is one side. I don't want to go far. The list also shows us that it is a product of loyalty. How do I mean? From the list, we can evidently see that the president have rewarded those who are what? Loyal to him. And also, he has rewarded those people who are his boys for day one. And it's also somebody who has rewarded, let me say, alliance. Because we saw what happened with the G5 governors. One of the G5 governors that supported him fully. Right now, we can just simply say that he has been compensated. And even before the president emerges, there are some few governors that went all and above for him. A good example is the former governor of Kaduna State. And from the list, he has shown that he has been what? Rewarded. But what about the caliber, you understand, the quality of those who are on the list? Well, we may want to have different opinion here. But I think not to a satisfactory level, actually, but to a very remarkable extent. I think if these people actually worked, the problem we have in Nigeria is that there is a difference between a good person and a good person doing the good thing. You understand? We have some of them who have good track record. Are we talking about the likes of Kaduna State governor? When he was formerly a minister before he became a governor, we know the effort he put in place. You understand? To put Abuja to where it is now, federal capital Abuja, and even it shows that he is a first class graduate from Ahmadu Bello in architecture. So probably he will also bring this back to the government and help the government. Or are we talking about the likes of technocrats, where people may want to say he's no longer a technocrat, but I still believe he spent a good chunk of his life working in the central bank. I mean, the man from Adelabu from Oyo State. He is a technocrat, and I believe he can move into. He's not only the only person. We have another economist, somebody who is highly regarded, Mr. Edu. He's also in the list. You understand? So we have people like that. And one other thing that I've also seen is that we have somebody that undoubtedly we can refer to as a youth. We have somebody who was just giving birth around 1986. So by her indication, the person is what? The person is a youth, you understand?
Definitely.
You understand? And we also have few women that are represented. But I must say that the numbers of females represented here, probably when the second list comes, we will see what will happen. It's not still up to the 35 requirements set by the UN. So by and large, the other area that I will be focusing on is how Mr. President will put these people in the rightful places. So by the time we are able to see this, and honestly speaking, without wasting too much time, because the problem is even when these people are good and they have lost, the presidency has lost the grace, the Nigerian people are still according the presidency or his administration, it will be difficult to achieve anything.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Let me quickly ask our listeners, our esteemed listeners, this question. Yes, talking about the ministerial list, and then with what our guest has said about probable rewards and compensation on the list, because of those that have actually taken considerable parts and active parts in the election process, and then right now we have seen some of their names in the list. Now the question is, should the appointment of ministers be based on rewards or compensations or competence? So that's the question for our listeners this morning. Please, you can quickly send your messages to 0913 655 6864. 0913-655-6864. That's whether WhatsApp or SMS. And then, of course, you can also call this number, 0913-655-6952 or 080-00-887-887. In the meantime, let's quickly go pay some bills, and then when we come back, yes, definitely we'll continue with the Diamond Breakfast Show. Please stay tuned to Diamond 88.7 FM, Lauren.
Are you looking to introduce your business to the world or maintain an existing brand image? Well, let's help you. Advertise with us at Diamond 887 FM in Lorry. We provide a wide range of services to help showcase your business. For inquiries and advert bookings, visit our marketing office at Plot 2, New Yidi Road, Irewolede, Ilorin, or call 091 2929 4332 or 081 2828 6078. Diamond 887 FM, your shining supreme station.
So when you're done with cold and cough,
so class, using the example cited, we have a triangle with three sides, opposite, adjacent, and sorry, excuse me, and
Auntie, you have to visit the pharmacy and take Konos. My mommy takes it when she has cold and cough and gets relief.
Konos?
Konos is a remedy for the relief of cold and cough in 15 minutes.
I feel relief now.
Konos is manufactured by Dexa Medica and distributed by Glorious Dexa Mendia Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor. Konos, breathe easy.
All right, you're welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, and here we are discussing about the ministerial list that the president has just forwarded to the National Assembly. Now, the ministers form the president's cabinet, and many argue that it should be filled up with technocrats. Does this look like one based on such philosophy?
Well, I think depending on how we look at it, and at what point we draw the line of who a technocrat is,
okay,
and who a politician is. Though I have always have this conviction that the fact that you become or you participate in politics does not make you or remove you from being a technocrat. What is most important is that as long as you have not just completely changed or you have not seen politics as a career, and the fact is even in developed countries, you understand, people don't actually go to politics and seeing it as a career. You must have something reasonable, something, you understand, good that you are doing, that you gain experience day in, day out. And like I mentioned earlier, if you look at the list, okay, one of the ministers is a very respected jurist from Kwara State. You cannot remove the nominee from Kwara State. You cannot say he's not a technocrat. You understand?
Okay.
He has practiced for many years. So let's go back to what was called the Oyo State that I mentioned earlier. Though he has contested in few, you understand, elections here and there, but he actually was working in the central bank before now. And we have another person, I think the nominee from I think is it Bonyi or this, I can't, or Cross River, I can't really. Okay, if you look at that person too, we have few technocrats.
Okay.
So we have people who have probably for a while now have been actively involved in politics, like that of a Governor Wiki. You understand? He was a chairman of a local government for 8 years. He became the minister. He was also a governor for another 8 years. So you understand what I'm saying now?
Mm-hmm.
So, but before then, you understand, he was also involved in few things. You understand? So, well, as much as I believe we have politicians there, I still think we have a handful of technocrats.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Well, 4 former governors made the list, including the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, who belongs to the opposition party, that's the PDP. His nomination has triggered different reactions. And then there are 2 sitting lawmakers who also made the list. That's Honorable Tunji Ojo of Ondo State and the Senator Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State that you were trying to refer to the other time. Is it that the president is it that there are no other qualified people who could have made the list apart from those two lawmakers? And then, of course, the nomination of the of Nyesom Wike himself has triggered many reactions. What are your thoughts?
Well, I will look at it from 2 to 3 angles. So
Okay.
the first angle is that I always think when somebody, you are a serving senator, you actually you promise the people to represent them, and at a, you understand, at the blink of an eye, you decide to change or accept another portfolio, so to say. At that point, I always wonder that is such people, can we actually trust them? That is what I used to think. Can we actually trust them? If you are in a particular portfolio and you are serving that portfolio, you understand? Normally, I expect you to serve the people because that's, at that point, that is what you want. But that shows a clear indication that sometimes our leaders, especially probably our governors, once they are governors, they just want to stay in power. So they don't want to stay out of power. If not, if you have actually vowed to be a senator and you have promised to represent the people, I see no reason why. Maybe he lobbied, maybe he did not. But it will not be out of place if you actually come online and thank Mr. President for this beautiful opportunity that you are giving. But tell Mr. President that currently now you are a serving senator, and because of the love of your people that you have, you want to remain a senator, and you should extend that opportunity to another person. But I wonder if any of the two mentioned candidates would do the nominees would do this. They would rather, you understand, move and cost Nigeria money again, because for us to replace them, we will have to what, to conduct another election. So it's as if it's another waste of resources entirely. Now let's come to the former one of the former governors from the opposition party, I mean Governor Wike.
Yes, I'm Wike.
You see, I will look at that particular point from two angles. There is nothing stopping a president to go into the opposite line, to go and meet into the opposition camp and pick the best of brain. Remember, we are all entitled to Nigeria. We are all Nigerians, and we are all in Nigerians to make Nigerians good. That should be our primary responsibility. So if you, party aside, if you think the person is capable, he has the quality, emphasis on capability and quality, you can invite the person. Party device aside, and the person will serve the country. The person is not serving you. We should get that right. The person is not serving the president. The person will serve the good people of Nigeria, and that is the main reason why you go into politics to start with, to serve the people of Nigeria. Picking somebody from opposition party is nothing. It's actually okay. There's nothing bad about it. However, Governor Wike is not like any other person from the opposite side. Is who probably during the last election involved in a lot of in a place where party supremacy plays a lot. At that point, that he was actually rumored, or I don't know how true is it, to be suspended. And at a particular time, even the present governor of Rivers State that won that election under the umbrella of PDP is not actually what we can say a true PDP, because at that state they are PDP, you understand, but they have lost connection with the national body of the party. So, but like I said, what happened is because Governor Wike abandoned his the party man, which is a candidate Atiku Abubakar, and supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the last election. That was what happened, and I think it is purely a kind of a compensation. I am not taking away. I am not even talking. The discussion is not about whether he's capable or he's competent. But the obvious truth is that that's what may have resulted to his nomination is the fact that he was compensated for his role in the last election. Now to the other two governors, 3 other governors that were actually recycled. I have this opinion that, honestly speaking, in my head, our listener at home may have to forgive me, but at times I look at Nigeria and I tell myself, the fact is we have good brains in Nigeria. In fact, there was this star pop musician, Akon. I watched one of his clips and he was saying the most brilliant people in the whole world are Nigerians. And apart from his statement, evidences have shown that we are good. Go outside the country where they know what they are doing. We are on all sectors and we are doing beautifully well. So even right here, we have a lot of people that are gifted, that are creative. But the question is, why are we still recycling ourselves? If you win an office and you are given 4 years, we are expecting you for that 4 years to give your best. After you have given your best, we look at your 10. Okay, this is how far you can go. No problem. Go and rest. Let someone else also come on board and give his or her best. So, but what we are seeing now is that what we see in Nigeria is not like that. We are seeing recycle. Look at the list. Practically everybody in that list have owned one. Either they have owned a political office or they have owned a party office. I am not saying this is bad, but I am saying that sometimes we can allow these people to go and rest and let us inject some fresh blood. For example, the governor of Kaduna State was once a minister. You understand? And he's the governor. Now he's coming back as a what? As a minister. The same thing applies to Governor Wike. He was once a minister and he's coming back as what? As a minister. So at times I look at it as if it's because they don't want to stay at home or they don't want to stay out of power. And that is why we need them to bring them. But if it's because of what they have to contribute, I am telling you that we see a million Nigerians that can contribute as much or even more than they can.
Okay, talking about the recycling of our politicians, well, from minister to governor, from governor to senator, or probably a minister again, that has been the cycle. But then, politics is some of their, should I say, career. Like, that is exactly what they do for a living.
But politics doesn't mean you have to hold office.
Okay.
That is what we don't get.
Okay.
You can still be involved in politics without holding office. The reason why we have to hold office in Nigeria is because we have placed people above the system. If the system is actually above the people, you don't have to be in the office to be a good politician.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. Well, at this point, let's quickly pay some bills and then we will come back. Yes, please, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, it is the Diamond Breakfast Show. And, of course, this is what we are discussing this morning about the ministerial list submitted by the President to the National Assembly. And then we want to know whether you are this meets your expectations or not. And then, of course, we're also asking that with the list here now that there are evidences of probable compensations and rewards on the list. Should it be about this or it should be about competency or capacity? So that's our question for this morning. 0913-655-6952 is the number to call. And then, of course, you can send in your messages to 0913-655-6864 or 080-00-887-887. That's the second number to be called. Let's quickly go to pay some bills, and then when we come back, we'll continue with the Diamond Breakfast Show. Please stay tuned to Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
Ara ríro kò sí mọ́, wọ́n ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí. Kára o lè pé bàmù rẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa.
Kókó lára ọ̀tá le. Gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Àtúrà wọ̀, àtúrà pẹ̀sẹ̀, àtúrà dáadáa. Kegun tó kegun náà. Kára o yá gágá. Ara ń ronú tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ronú mọ́. Tẹ̀bá ti fi kára o lè pè ń bà rà. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. Tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. Òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. Fi kára o lè pè ń bà wọ̀. Káì, ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. Action, action. Ó jẹ́ ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. Kára o lè pè ń bà lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. Agbára pọ̀. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Tuyi Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Ó kì í síbẹ̀.
Kára o lè pè ń bà mú rẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa.
Ọṣẹ kan ṣoṣo tó ń jẹ́ káṣọ máa dán, kò kí n pẹ́ mi láti fọṣọ dán. Ọṣẹ gidi mi ò lè lóhun tí ò dáa. Lòbíbá kékeré fífa aṣọ púpọ̀ Lòbíbá. Má sọ àkọ́kọ́ àtọwọ́ rẹ̀ nù Lòbíbá. Lòbíbá, mo fẹ́ràn bíbá, kò sọ́ṣẹ tó lè dàbí. Mo fẹ́ràn bíbá títí láé. Lòbíbá, mo fẹ́ràn bíbá, kò sọ́ṣẹ tó lè dàbí. Mo fẹ́ràn bíbá títí láé. Lòbíbá, mo fẹ́ràn bíbá, kò sọ́ṣẹ tó lè dàbí. Mo fẹ́ràn bíbá títí láé.
ọṣẹ àbùfọ̀ Viva Plus ọ̀gá ńlá ọṣẹ àbùfọ̀ látọwọ́ Aspira.
All right, you're welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorient. Here we are discussing about the ministerial list that was just presented to the National Assembly by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The numbers to call, do not forget, is 0913 655 6952 080 00887 887. Okay, I think we have a.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Mr. Daniel. I'm calling from Ilorin.
Mr. Daniel, please, what part of Ilorin are you calling from?
Challenge.
Okay, from Challenge. Thank you very much for joining. Please, let's have you.
About the ministers' ministerial list submitted.
Yes.
I think one of the problem, one of the reasons why we are not improving in this country. They are always using this thing to compensate their friends and people who they think that will work for them. They are not considering whether the person is capable or not. They are just want to use it to compensate because maybe during the election that you work for me, you work for my victory, so let me use this one. So they are taking it as if Nigeria is now their personal business that they are using to compensate their friends. And most of all these governors, and we are shouting, there is no job. People are graduating every day by day. There is no job, and they keep telling us that the children are leaders of tomorrow. And you see all these leaders staying in power from local government chairman to minister, from minister to governor, from governor to minister again. Well, we have many people who don't have jobs. All this thing they are doing is very wrong, and it's not going to help us in this country. That's my own contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Daniel from Challenge. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0913 655 6952 is the number to call, or 080 00887 887. You can also send in your messages via WhatsApp or SMS to 0913 655 6864. I have a question, I have a message here. This says, your guest is not a politician, but he should know that 24 hours in politics is a very long time. If the president had plans and the game changed, but because he already had a plan, so he shouldn't re-strategize. Aregbesola, Osibanjo, etc. turned out to be enemies of the plan. Then Wike Makinde got into the plan after rebelling against their party, and replanning is what is currently going on. May Nigeria and Kwara succeed. That's coming from Onibonje. All right, thank you very much, Onibonje, for your contribution. This says, good morning, my guest and program anchor. For my own side of thinking, Baba just called those who are loyal to him. But all these people have worked in big areas which they are well okay. We pray to God to lead the country to grace land. That's coming from MC Matuga. All right, thank you very much, MC Matuga, for your contribution. This says, good morning, presenter. I am Olayemi from Ayankorin. Based on the question asked, ministerial list must be on... Based on the question asked, ministerial list must be on competence standard. But in this country, politicians can't do without loyalists for proper party politics. The only person I was surprised of is the woman who stepped down for Tinubu at primaries. The list shows how loyalist politics is played in this country. Hopefully, renewed hope ascertain in their mind to serve Nigeria better. Okay, thank you very much for that message, Olayemi. All right, yes, we have a call right here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir, your name and where you're calling from?
I'm speaking from Ofa.
Oh, Elder Bamdelege from Ofa. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, thank you for joining. Let's have you, sir.
Presidents have been cycled, including Tinubu. So if you recycling people, there should be nothing surprising there. Let me tell you, our hope should be in God. For constitutional amendment that maximum of 60 days, and Tinubu cannot even choose all his ministers, shows how unserious we are in this country. Not only him, 21 state governors, which means there's no federal executive council yet. Many states, including Kwara, no state executive council. As for the government, those disciples, the most surprising is Erufai and Yeson Wike. I watched them on television swearing that they would never attend to the ministers, but they have come back to the ministers. Danger there now is that our economy will still remain the same. God forbid. Everything may be still remain as it remains. In a nutshell, Tinubu is preparing for second time, not even the problem that is happening now. God bless him.
All right, thank you very much, Elder Bamidelege. He says that Tinubu is already preparing for second term with this move, even while he has not even done anything in his first term. So, what do you see of this particular contribution?
Well, I want to say that we as much as I want to agree with the last caller,
okay,
I also want to say that I am not going to write anything off.
Yet.
Even people, yet.
Okay.
Even a bad person may become a very good person.
Okay.
Change is constant.
Okay.
However, what
Sorry.
I want. Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
Adegun from Adesoye.
Okay. Mr. Adegun from Aleko, thank you for joining. Let's have you.
So, as for me, all the minister is okay. So don't let it do Magumago. God bless Nigeria.
All the ministers are okay?
Yeah.
You said all the ministers are okay.
I think that was what he said.
All right.
Well, honestly speaking, he's right.
Okay.
They are okay. You understand? As long as God puts the interests of Nigerians in their heart and it delivers. So what we want is a change in Nigeria, and God will give us. But I want to say something about picking competency. You see, at times, I am not saying it's impossible, but at times, as long as we are pegging that the president must pick from the 36 states and the federal capital, at that point, competency may not be achieved.
Okay, let's quickly talk about this. You're coming back to that, but then let's quickly talk about the provision of the Constitution. Former President Muhammad Buhari took about 6 months before he could, present a list of his ministers. So, meaning that he did not have a cabinet for a very long time, as opposed to what is laid down by the Constitution. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying all his best to make sure that he does not flout that particular part of the Constitution. But then the question now is, if the executive, especially on the federal level, should I say, flout any part of the Constitution, what exactly happens? Is it that we just overlook it, or there's nobody to check and balance the federal government?
Well, I think
because
we all
the
know
truth
the
of the matter
answer.
is a part of the Constitution is you do not have a right to steal somebody's property or to murder somebody. Those are the very basic ones that me and you know, and then we try to abide by every day of our lives. And then if anybody does that, there's always a punishment for them. But when it comes to the part of the federal government that, okay, this is what the Constitution says, and then they are doing something else, or they are not even paying attention to what the Constitution says, what exactly are the checks and balances that are meant to be done?
Honestly, you have answered your question. You say anybody.
Okay.
But is federal government anybody?
Oh, really?
The federal government is not anybody.
Okay.
Even the rich people in Nigeria are not anybody. Anybody cannot go against the Constitution. But these people are not anybody. That is just the answer. If somebody, another person steals, or you pass through the wrong way, or you pass through one way, as long as you don't have money, you don't have power, you are anybody. You'll be deal with. But if people, Yoruba will say, I want to left one, when they do this, nothing will happen to them. That is just the fact. Look at what happened, one sinful act that happens between the DSS and the Nigerian Correctional Service. Imagine we are past 24 hours and nobody has resigned. Nobody has been sacked. Are those people anybody? They are not anybody. They are somebody. Anybody in Nigeria will punish, but somebody in Nigeria will never be punished. So that is just the answer. What will happen is that if the president or the presidency or a member of the executive council, even a member, we have in this country a senator that abused a Nigeria and the person finished his time. Are we in a country that follows the law? Look at what make the former prime minister of British to resign. What? He was not even actively, you understand,
involved,
and he has to leave. That is where they use everybody. But in Nigeria, we use anybody, and so, as long as you have moved from anybody and you have become somebody, then you are a good body. Nothing will happen to you.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, this should be okay. Dr. Zeal, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, let's have this, please.
I agree with what the analyst in Chile just said now. In Nigeria, we have somebody and anybody. And whether we like it or not, all those in power, they are somebody. And we should not deceive ourselves. They should not get away because it's their law-breaking style. Breaking constitution, breaking all the things that they just feel like breaking. And we leave them like that because they are in control. They use money, they use power, they use influence. As we speak now, President Tinubu has not fully selected all the people in his cabinet. 11 states are out, and people are praising him. Praising him for what now? As we speak now, all these people, this recycling style, which the analyst mentioned, will not take us anywhere. We are not saying that we don't need experience. We are not saying that. We are not saying that we don't need people in one way or the other who knows what to do. But people who have said to some extent, are they the only one in Nigeria? Don't we have other people? So what we need to know is that we should not just this, I want to make you happy because you supported me. I want to also repay you back. We have to stop it if we want to move ahead. We want to also go to other areas so that we can make everybody have what we call bring in your own to the table and do the right thing, not just to come and be sharing the national case in the name of friendship and partisanship. No, we don't want that. We want the best. The likes of Wike, the likes of El-Rufai, we are tired of them. Umahi, they should go and rest. Let other people come on board. And then so that the right thing can be done. And all these people who just see that, we pray for them. Pray for who? It's not about prayer alone. They should do the right thing. Not that it's not just something we should be decision ourselves on. Praying nation without doing the right thing. No.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Zeal. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, I still have some other messages right here. This says, good morning. There's no way they will appoint ministers without rewarding, but it should be there should be about competency. From Comrade Tinola Elero Escayode. Thank you very much, Comrade, for your contribution. And then this says, good morning, Diamond FM. I think ministerial appointment should be based on competence and not by compensation or reward for Nigeria to move forward. Because if Mr. President continues to appoint his loyalists without appointing experts or technocrats to pilot the affairs of the government, the bad effects of it will reflect on common Nigerians. That's coming from Mr. Ben from Itailepa. Thank you so much, Mr. Ben, for your contribution. Yes, let me see. Okay. Oh, we still have enough messages right here. But in the meantime, let me just quickly pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where are you calling from?
It's Samuel from Babode.
Okay, Samuel from Babode. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. Please, let's have you.
Okay, you see, even if this list should come from heaven, it will still be criticized.
Oh, really?
Because I believe it is on earth when a saint was given to us and it was crucified at the end. But what is giving me hope about the list is I see there are some three names there. BTO for Mondo State, a serving member House of Rep, and Mr. L. Fag from Senior Advocate Fag from this Kwara seat, and Wike. So all those three, because for me I'm from Mondo State, and I know much about BTO. He's a very good man, and I can say this even more popular than governor in the state. Everyone is singing his name in the street as if he was the governor, and I was surprised seeing him making the list. And it's not as if I'm also not surprised because he's a very good person.
Okay.
So, and yes, he's a very good person, despite the fact that he is still serving as a member of Rep. So he still make up the list. So, Mr. Wike, everyone knows him, he has a very strong voice. Whatever what he will do, and whatever what he is not going to do, he will not never do it. That's the kind of a person we need in Nigeria.
All right.
So he's not someone that will not.
Okay, so to you, what you're trying to say in essence is that the list is actually how do I put it right now, matching your own expectations, right?
Yes, there is nothing wrong with the list. It's okay.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that contribution, Mr. Samuel. Okay, 0913-655-6952, 08000-887-887. And then, of course, you can send your messages to 0913-655-6864. This is saying the government has laid a foundation of renewed suffering instead of renewed hope for the past 60 days. I pray and hope that our leaders will not receive stones from hungry and frustrated citizens before they do the needful. Government is about cash flow management, receiving cash from low priority and dispensing to high priority. At no point should cash be idle. That's coming from Kolade from Asadam. All right, thank you so much, sir. Kolade from Asadam. This says, I'm Mike from Ilorin. You see, this is politics. Loyalists, whether to the party or to the principal officer, will be those to be appointed. So what I think is more important is the ability to choose the best from the loyalists on the average and at a fair state of balance. Therefore, if the so-called better people want to be appointed, they should get into politics. If we don't want the ongoing recycling, then we must join in. Simple and short. All right, thank you very much, Mike from Ilorin. Okay, we have another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where you're calling from?
This is Malam calling from Okefoma.
Malam from Okefoma. Thank you for joining. Please, let's have you.
My brother, to be sincere, honestly speaking, when we are talking about governance, we cannot continue doing the same thing the same way and expect different results. Nobody says that this list is not okay, but it's supposed to be involve new person. I mean, expert and technocrats. And not only that, I think they're supposed to roll out the portfolio that they are going to, give to these people, these candidates. I'm referring to the nominees. And most especially the education sector. That is my own constituency and the constituency of our guests too. We want somebody that will be of high repute to man that particular ministry. We don't want people like Chris Indige and the likes. Because we don't want them again. We want people that will turn around this country for better. So that is what we want, not for political gain, not for political reward or compensated, as you've rightly mentioned. So that is my call. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, Malam. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay, 0913-655-6952. Well, Doctor, I think our time is fast spent. There's about just a few minutes to check out. So let's just quickly pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Olayinka.
Your name again?
Olayinka, I'm calling from Ofa.
Olayinka from Ofa. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Let's have you.
Asadam.
Oh, from Asadam. Oh, okay. Let's have you, sir.
Please, let us stop deceiving ourselves.
Okay.
All these issues of ministerial vacancies, let Tinubu select the right people, because we have about four, the former governors and one minister.
Yes.
All those things is like we are repeating the same thing, because I don't see a big deal that they will perform or there is any miracle that will happen from them. They have been in this system, we have been for a long. So the right people are there. Let them select the right people. They know that the right people is there. So we have been hearing of scam. It's part of the scam of the country. When you cannot put the right people at the right place, look their age, you see their age, they are not young, they have dated. Sorry to use this statement. So let the government do the right thing.
All right, thank you so much,
let
sir.
them put the right people. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Olayinka from Asadam. All right. Well, Doctor, as I just said before, that our time is fast spent. So, in one statement, what are your final words?
Well, very simple. In whatever we do, whether we agree or disagree with the list, let us just express our opinion politely without insulting anybody.
Okay, through the right channels.
Yes. However, one thing we must not throw away or we must not lose. please, I'm begging you, don't let us lose hope. As long as we have hope,
whether it's renewed or not,
don't just let us lose hope.
Okay.
And good things are coming.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Sulaiman, for coming this morning. We hope to see you some other time when we call on you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's the size of our package for this morning on the Diamond Breakfast Show. It's a production of the News and Current Affairs Department of Diamond 88.7 FM. Ilorin. Yes, I am Babafemi Adesoye. Please make sure you have yourself a very beautiful Friday and a lovely weekend ahead. Bye for now.